You're welcome to my channel, Mindset Academy, where we want to solve a problem involving link mechanism. And the question goes like this. It says, in the given mechanism, the crank OA revolves anticlockwise about O. The end B of the rod AB is constrained to move always along PQ. Plot the locus of arrow for one revolution of OA if OA is 30 centimeter, AB is 105 centimeter, and A arrow is 70 centimeter. Scale 1 millimeter to 1 centimeter. So it simply means that every 1 millimeter is 1 centimeter, right? Now, or 1 centimeter is equals to what? 1 millimeter. So if you look at the top right corner of the screen, you will see the crank, right? We are told that the crank here is OA, right? That is that circular shape you see there, that is the crank, and we're told it rotates anticlockwise. So as this crank rotates anticlockwise, what happened? The connecting rod AB is constrained to move along PQ. So this connecting rod here at B will be going up and down, right? As this crank rotates anticlockwise. So we are moving from rotary motion into what? A linear motion here. So it's constrained to move along what? PQ. So we are told that what is the locus of arrow, right? The path at which arrow will follow as this crank move anticlockwise and as this point B move linearly along what? PQ. So the first thing you have to do is to reproduce the figure that is displayed at the right hand side of the screen. So let's start that and see. I'm going to draw my horizontal line, front line first. You can see that. And I'm going to draw my vertical line too at any given point on that line this way. You can see that. And they are meeting at this point. So the first thing I'll draw will be the crank. And the crank OA is said to be what? 30 millimeter, which is something that's saying 30 centimeter according to the scale. So I'll just come here and I'll measure 30 here, right? I'm going to measure what? 30 here. From 0 to 3 is going to be what? 30. And I'll place it at the center point here. You can see that? So when I place it there, I will now draw the crank, right? I'll draw what? The crank. I'll thicken it. I'm going to what? Thicken it. It should be very visible. So that is the crank that we're seeing there. And we're told also this is OA, right? So, and with what is A, where A is represented, I'm going to divide this circle, right, into what? 12 equal parts. So in doing that, I'm going to take my compass. I'll place it at the center. This is center O. We're looking for what? For A. A is lying along this point here. So I'll take O to this point. You can see that. So when I place it here, I'll strike an arc in this manner up. I'll place it here too. I'll strike another arc here up. I'll come to this point here. I'll strike left and what? And right with the same radius. Now I'll take my meter rule. I'll pass those points through the center. So this will go through the center to the next point. This will go through the center O to the next point. This will go through center O to the next point. This will go through center O to the next point. Alright? And this point you're seeing here is my point what? A. So that point I am going to what? Thicken it, make it more visible. You can see that? That is what? OA. Right? We are now told that what? The distance from this vertical line, let me make it visible. The distance from this vertical line, let me increase it. I'll use center line here. So a long, short, long, short, long, short, long, short, long, short, and so on. Right? Now we're told the distance is what? Is given to be to get to line PQ. The distance is what? 60 centimeter. Which are saying 60 millimeter here. So from 0 to what? To 6 is 60. You can see that? So on that line, I'm going to draw my PQ on that point. So with the help of my meter rule, if I place it on my T-square, I can get a vertical line. So I'll just draw my PQ. Should just be, let me use the center line, long one, short. So this point here is actually my what? My PQ. This is Q and this is P here. Let's say this is the P. Right? So move forward. Let me bring this down a little bit. So this is the P here. Now we know from here to here is 60. So the next thing is we are told that AB is given to be what? 100 and what? 105. So this is A and B is falling along PQ, right? So I'll just take my meter rule and I'll measure 105 on it. So from this point, this is 0, right? I'll go to 100 and what? 105. This 105 here. Is that okay? And I'll place it at the center here. At the center here. At A, sorry. And I'll mark on that point there. So where it's marked 105, I'm going to connect it straight ahead. So from this point to where it's marked, that will now be my point what? Point B. Right? So I'm going to join it this way. From A to that point is 105. And I'll thicken it. You can see that? So A to B is 105. Now the next thing here is in between A and B, we have R, and we're told AR is 70. So I'm going to measure 70 on AB. This is A, and 70 will be at this point. So that point there will be what? Point R. You can see that? Now, with what I have here, I can just easily put my center line here too, if I want to. The center line, long one, short, long, short, long, short, and so on like that. Right? To show it is concentric. So this is what we have here. We've successfully reproduced, this is point B, and point B is going up and down PQ. So let me put my arrow to show that point B is going up and down on PQ. So if I just do this here, I'll just put my arrow here and arrow here. So B is going up and down, while the crank is rotating anti-clockwise, going this way. So we'll now start. So if this is A, we said one revolution. One revolution means one what? One cycle. One cycle means from A back to what? To A. So if this is A, the next point will be what? A1. The next point will be what? A2. This one will be what? A3. And what? A4. This will be A5, A6, A7, A8, A9, A10, A11, then back to here. That is one revolution. Is that okay? So I'm going to repeat this process at every point. At every point, I'm going to measure AB. So if this is AB, at A1 will be what? A1, B1, then arrow 1. At A2 will be what? A2, B2, then arrow 2. So I'll do that for every point. So let's see how that goes. So if I should come to, we want to get the locus of what? Of arrow, right? So if I want to get, this is from here to here, is given to be 105. You can see that. So I'll come to point A1, I'll mark, right? That will be what? That will be B1, right? Since I'm coming from A1, this will be B1. So I'll just use my meter rule and I'll connect A1 to what? To B1. A1 to what? To B1. You can see that? Then I will now measure 70 on A1, B1. On the line of what? A1, B1, I'll measure 70. So starting from A1, I'm going to measure 70. So that point I measured 70 will be what? Arrow 1. Right? That will be what? Arrow 1. I'll come again to A2 with the same measurement of A and what? B. I'll come to A2. I'll do the same thing. I'll mark on that line. So that line I mark PQ, that will now give me my what? My point B2. That again. Then I'm going to join A2, B2. A2 what? B2. You can see that? So on that A2, B2, I'll measure another 70 from A2, B2. So this is 0 to what? 70 here. And that's going to give me what? Arrow 2. Right? I'll do the same thing too. I'll come to A3. I'm going to mark on PQ. You can see that. So on that point will be what? B3. Then I'm going to come from what? From B3, from A3 to B3, I'll draw a vertical line that will connect B3 and what? A3 this way. You can see that. So I'll now come on that line and measure 70 so that I can locate arrow. So this is 70 here, which will now be my what? My arrow what? Arrow 3. I'll do the same thing too from A4 with the same measurement of what? Of AB. I'll come to A4. I'm going to mark. Right? Let me bring it down so you see. I'm going to mark. So that point here, where I mark here, will be what? My B4. So I'm going to connect A4, B4. You can see that. So from that A4, B4, I'm going to measure 70. From 0 here to 70. And that will give us what? Arrow 4. Right? Then the next one, I'll come to A5 also with the same measurement of what? Of AB. I'll come to A5. I'll mark to locate what? B5. So at this point here, it will be what? B5. So I'm going to join A5 and what? B5 here. Consider that. So I'm going to measure it. 70 on the line of A5, B5. So this is 70 here. So this will give me what? My arrow 5. I'll come again from A6 on the line of PQ. I'll mark. So where it meets here will be what? My B6. So I'll connect A6 to what? B6. You can see that? And I'll take my meter rule and measure 70 from that point. from AC to B6. So I'm going to mark 70. Right? I'm going to what? I'll mark 70. Now that'll give me what? My B6. My R6, sorry. R6. Then I'll come again from A7 to that line PQ to locate my what? My B7. Right? So I'll connect A7 to B7. B7. This is my B7 here. From A7, this is B7 here. So I'll connect it. And see that? Now join. So on that line, I'll mark 70 to get arrow. And see that at this point will be my what? My arrow 7. Similarly, from A8, I'll come and mark on that line here, where it meets here, will be my B8. I'm going to join A8 to B8. Now on that line, I'll mark 70. From 0 to 70. That'll give me what? My R8. Now from A9, I'm going to mark on it to get what? B9. So I'll connect A9 and B9 together. To get what? My R9 by measuring 70 from A9. To 70 here. That'll give me my R9. Right? So similarly from A10, I'll mark. So I'm going to get what's called what? B10. So I'm going to connect A10 to B10. Then I'm going to get mark 70. That will be my R10. Then the next one from A11 to the line PQ. Then I'm going to get B11. So I'll join it together from A11 to B11 this way. Alright, so I have this. So I'll measure 70 from A11 to get R11. So you must be doing them one after the other. So avoid confusion. You give me what? My arrow 11, then back to A1, which is arrow here. So you see all these points here is the locus of arrow, right? So I'm going to join them together, join those points. So if I should use my French curve, I'm going to start joining them together, right? So first of all, take 3 points at a time. And take this. Can see that? I can also take this 3 points at a time. Right? I'll take this. Then this. Then this. Then this. Right? Then we'll connect this together. Totally use hand and do this. And I can come here. This is coming here this way. Then this. Right? So this is the locus of what? Of arrow. So when this crank is rotated anti-clockwise, right? This is point A at different position going in one revolution, or we'll call it one convolution, right? As it moves, the connecting rod connecting the crank to this point, this line PQ, is constrained to move vertically to and fro this line, right? So as it moves to and fro this line, there's a new point arrow that is being formed at different position. So at that point arrow, we need to draw out the locus of point R, and that is what we just did here. So if you have actually found this video helpful, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and also share the video. Thanks for watching.